That's not going anywhere. Okay, so recap on 2024. I genuinely have to say I'm extremely grateful for everything I've been through and I've had to grow through because it's been a very interesting process to say the least. I got no complaints, because I learned a lot. I've had to go through a great bit. I've had to learn how to let go. I've had to learn like what real detachment is. I had to learn to just allow people to be in their space and do their own thing, you know. I've had to learn how to realize and live in a way where I have to understand, however you want to look at it, to really understand my value of who I am as a person and the process of who I'm becoming and the process of how I have to grow into who I am meant to be to do what I have to do while I'm here. And I even learned that, oh, my voice broke. I even learned that the process of me growing in general and my purpose, like growing into my purpose is something that I create and I have to be the one to create it. And because I know I aspire to live purposefully, that's exactly what I'm going to create. And in order to create purposefully, I have to grow intentionally. So I have to be intentional about everything I do, the people I entertain, the how I spend my time, the information I take in, the music I take in. It's all forms and all sorts of it. If you're on this path of growth, then you get exactly what I'm talking about because you yourself are experiencing it. So if you're experiencing what it is really like for yourself to really grow into who you're meant to be because you know that you have a specific path, this video is genuinely for you. Okay? So to start, first of all, my name is Nasir McCullers and welcome to my YouTube channel. You are enjoying every single second of your now from now on infinitely. Healing and wellness be within you always, and I thank you greatly for tuning in. So to get into it, in this video, I'm going to start out with the three main things I feel like I took away from 2024, that year, the year of the eight. And I'm extremely grateful for the things I've had to grow through just within that year alone. Okay, so to start, people make time for what they value. Now, when I had learned this one, I was looking at every single thing that I was doing. I always made it clear to myself that my intention to live in this life is very intentional. The way I want to go about everything, I want it to be intentional because the results I receive, I want those to be intentional as well, right? You don't work out. A lot of people might work out for fun as a stress reliever. At the end, we all still have an objective to meet an end result. For mine, it was to achieve more muscle mass in the same time of becoming stronger in general because I focus on strength training and I focus on like my aesthetic side as well in terms of how I look and everything because that part matters to me. My body matters to me, so it's something I take care of. So I've automatically made time for me and myself and exercising in my body because it's something I value. People in my life. They're people in my life. They're people I value. Anybody that I choose to entertain. Once we get to really have the time to spend with each other to understand who we are as people and we really vibe well and we're both able to be consistent with showing up in that right and you show that you value just as much as I value you as a person, you value me in that same way and we're able to reciprocate that, is something that I'm able to appreciate, respect, and value because it's something I'm going to put my time into. There's this quote that says, if they wanted to, they would. Because when you wanted to, you did. And because I knew like every single time I wanted to put my time and attention into people, it was something I've always like took seriously for myself because it's something I actually value. Seeing people do well, seeing people feel well, seeing people be well, and just succeed in life in general. And I love to encourage people. I love to congratulate people. Just genuinely, I love supporting people. So I've made a point to, you know, make my time to value people in that right, and always appreciated that in return. And mind you, it does not always come from the same person. It never did always come from the same person, but it was something I was genuinely appreciative of, just in general, to be able to do that and to be able to have that from people, even if it wasn't always from the same person. And like within this, people making time for what they value, I've also learned that be mindful of who you entertain, because yet again, not everybody will value the same thing as you do. So even if you do value your relationships in this point in time, you could be valuing somebody who does not value relationships as much as you do. So they're not going to make as much time for you or make as much efforts for you as you would for them. And it's not that they don't care about you any less. It's they don't feel anything negative towards you. They just value something differently than you do. And once you realize that, then you have to prioritize on who you know is going to give you that back, because y'all two value the same thing if you want the same thing back in return. Second thing I feel like I've really taken away from 2024, and I'm not even going to say taken away, but received, was starting with what I know to do. I know I'm supposed to be here for something. I know I'm supposed to be doing something while I'm here. And because I know that part, is something that I'm going to make the most of, regardless of what any circumstance brings in my life in general. And it's something I'm extremely grateful for, no matter what the circumstance will play out to be. I've said circumstance like 3 different times. Well, that's 4. Okay. Either way, it's something I'm very grateful for, because I've started with what I've known to do with my music. I wrote the song to a beat that I felt something with. And then as a result of that, I just started with recording it, the whole process of recording it and what I know to do with that. And I just kept on moving with every single action, just moved to the next thing and the next thing after that with what I've known to do. And there, as a result of that, I've gained experience in really actually understanding the process that goes into these things that I have to do for myself. Don't mind that. That's my notification from my phone. I'm actually going to turn. Yeah, you might hear it once or twice, but that's not the focus here. It's something I've really understood more and more of, and it's something that I'm extremely grateful for. And because I've started just with that very simple process of just starting with what I've known to do, I've really understood how these processes work for moving forward with things that I know is needed for me, and the process of what I know I need to do. So that's the biggest way I've made progress, by just starting with what I've known to do. And ever since I started, I just didn't stop. And it's not something I'm stopping. And I'm extremely grateful for that. So the third thing that I've learned, that I've received from the experience of 2024, was the energy that you approach situations with is something that matters a lot. So if you're not familiar with the law of vibration, I'm going to put it in simple terms for you. Your vibration is what you feel and the energy that you express throughout the things that you do, the things that you think, and like how you feel when you take things in and give things out. So, say for instance, I gotta go take care of one of my responsibilities, or one of my priorities, and it's not something I necessarily feel like doing in that moment. And now I'm starting to express frustration about it. Just because of me approaching the situation in a frustrated manner and then going through the situation in a frustrated manner, I'm going to end up getting a result that leaves me feeling frustrated, because that's the energy that I chose to keep within that circumstance, priority, experience, however you want to look at it. Because I chose to utilize that energy for that, that's the outcome that I'm going to have. So automatically, once I realized that was a part of myself that I really had to, kind of shift in a good bit of ways, I started, like, as soon as I had a priority to go take care of that I did not feel like doing in that moment, I just go like, okay, I'm grateful for my ability to do it, and I'm supposed to be doing this because I'm my ability to do it is like present and is here, and I'm grateful for that. So I'm going to express my gratitude for being able to move in this way, because if I did not have the ability to do it, I'd be looking at other people with their ability to do it, be like, man, you should be so grateful you have that. And considering I have it, I'm going to express appreciation by actually doing it and feel like doing it and express happiness throughout that standpoint, because it's something that gives me it. Every single time I do that, my result always ends up in a very, it ends up in a result that just leaves me being happy. You know, it makes me joyful, and I'm able to make other people joyful throughout the process. So it's like it creates a chain reaction of sorts where I'm able to, do that for people, and I'm extremely grateful for it. So because of me being grateful for it, I express that gratitude by actually expressing that through the situations that I'm going through. So that's I'm literally shifting my vibration through the things that I'm doing, and it helps me shift other people's vibrations just in general by me choosing to do that, creating that chain reaction. It starts with me. So it shows that it's something that I have to do on my part. And since I don't have an issue being accountable for myself, how I feel, what I do, what I think, it's not a problem for me to even do that and shift that or change that about myself into something I'm extremely grateful for. Okay, so I'm grateful for 2024. Now it is 2025. If you look at the calendar, then you will see it for yourself. It feels like time has just genuinely really blown by, and this has been an experience that I'm extremely grateful for, because I've really learned a great bit throughout this period in time. And I genuinely have no complaints about a single thing. And I'm so grateful for that. I don't have any regrets, and I'm doing the best I can to live as mindfully as possible. Even when I get frustrated, I'm always making sure that I treat myself with patience, and I'm treating myself correctly. I'm treating other people with patience, and I'm treating other people correctly. I'm always making sure that I do my best to just do the things that make people feel good. Hey, oh, okay, now, in terms of making people feel good, I will not tell you a lie if it's gonna make you feel good. I will hurt your feelings there. That's just genuinely me. It's not to hurt you, it's to build you. Genuinely, I'm not the kind of person that's gonna sit there and just feed you a lie because that's what makes you feel good. If lies is what makes you feel good, go to somebody else. I ain't about to sit here and bullshit you. That's one thing that we gonna get here right now. That if you came here for that, that's not what I promote here. Okay, genuinely. So you genuinely gonna have to take that somewhere else. That's not what I do. But I do things out of respect for people and their well-being and their potential to grow, whether they see it or not. I always do things out of people's potential to grow and for their well-being, because I just want to see people be well and I want to see people do well. So what I'm going to acknowledge right now is New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions, do I have any? No, I do not have any New Year's resolutions. Why do I not have any New Year's resolutions? I'm saying like I don't know the answer to this question. So for the longest period in time, and multiple folk have been doing this for a great bit of time. And if you're watching this video and you're one of those, or you know somebody that's like that, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. By the time the end of the year gets here, you always have multiple people always talking about their New Year's resolutions and what they're going to do for their New Year's resolutions. For your New Year's resolutions, but by the time it actually switches to that next year, it's still the same. I don't do New Year's resolutions because just because the time on the clock or on the calendar has shifted does not mean that I'm about to sit here and entertain not changing. So instead of a New Year's resolution, that's not something I promote. That's not something I will entertain, but I will acknowledge it because I feel like it's important. This, for this channel, for me, for who I'm going to be influencing and how, this is not New Year's resolutions. This is new life direction, okay? Throw out the NYRs, New Year's resolutions, and bring in the the NLDs, new life direction. This is the part that we are going to prioritize. No New Year's resolutions, new life direction, okay? And that within itself takes action. We must take action with that part. And this is something that I'm going to express very heavily because throughout this process, we are going to walk together and we are going to take action together, genuinely. So, what I want to do here to get into this is this, okay? I want to ask you one question, but here's what I'm going to do, okay? So, right here, I got my notebook, right? What I want to do here is this. First of all, I'm going to ask you this question. Now, after I ask you this question, if you do not have, I want you to have a pen and paper with you. If you do not have a pen and paper with you, look, I'm pretty sure your phone is new enough for you to be able to leave out of your phone and this video drop down into a smaller tab, and then you can go to like Notepad or something. Or if you're on your computer, open up another tab on Google Notes or WordPad or just something that you can type in or write into, okay? And I want you to type this down or write this out for yourself, okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and ask you this question. What are 5 things you would love to accomplish this year? Okay, I'm going to ask this question again. What are 5 things you would love to accomplish this year? This is a question that I want you for yourself to answer, because with this new life direction that we're taking, it's something that I just genuinely want for people to do, that genuinely people need to do for themselves, so you can really have clarity on how to move into a direction that seems fit for you, for how you want to grow, and for what purpose you're creating while you are physically here on this planet, okay? So I'm going to give you 5 minutes to answer this question. What are 5 things you would love to accomplish this year? If you feel like you need more time than that, you can leave it paused for after the 5-minute time that's set, but I'm going to put a 5-minute timer and probably music in the background or just plain silence, because silence is like meditation. That's another thing, and that's going to be a video that I'm going to touch on at a period in time. Just, we're not going to prioritize that right now. Let's be here right now. But what are 5 things you would love to accomplish this year? I'll give you 5 minutes to answer that, okay? So, yeah. Okay. So this is after the 5 minute period. So if you wrote it out, I'm grateful you did, because it's 5 minutes for 5 things you would love to accomplish. You There's no wrong answer. There's no way that you're not supposed to put it. It's just 5 things you would love to accomplish. So it's all right. I've tapped on most of the things I would want to in this video. I think this is right here is the last thing. So I read a good bit, and I've come across a few things, and I've took a few pieces of information and I put them together. Okay, and it's very small, it's very simple, it's not a whole lot, but I put a very few things together, and I'm gonna read it, and this is how I'm going to end this off. So I want you to listen to this, because it's probably a message that somebody else needs, or you could possibly need this message, but we're gonna get right into it. If you must ask someone to apologize for them to do so, it was never genuine in the first place. Sorry needs change, and if they don't value you enough to change the behavior that hurts you, then they deserve to lose you. A person who values you wouldn't ever put themselves in the position to lose you. Not everything is worth fixing. I want you to let that sink in for a moment. Sorry needs change, and if they don't value you enough to change the behavior that hurts you, they deserve to lose you. Regardless of any circumstance, this message is for those in the back who like to go back to people who have hurt them previously, and you want to be away from that feeling, but because you're so used to it, you automatically keep trying to run back to them. Okay, that's a pattern that you need to realize that you have. When you realize that you're trying to go back to people or things that's not good for you, it's because you're very familiar with that, and that's a pattern that you realized about yourself. Now, how do you break that pattern? Responding differently. It's as simple as that. When you see yourself trying to go back to something or someone that's not good for you, and you realize that about yourself, automatically give yourself a whole different response than you would have. Most people, they just go back. Don't go back. As a matter of fact, prioritize something that is completely opposite of that, and that's pulling you in the direction that you really want to go, that you know you need to go. If you do that for a prolonged period of time, for around the same amount of time that you've been in the toxic situation for, I can guarantee you, by the time those equal up, you are going to see that your mind is not seeking the same thing that it used to seek before, because your desire changed, your want for the same thing changed, and you're not comfortable with it before because you've been so far out of it and you've worked your way out of it. Okay? And sometimes some people need a little bit of accountability because it's hard for them, and they personally have not had that for themselves, so they don't know how to do that for themselves. But now is the time you start. If you have willpower within yourself, and you trust the fact that it is strong enough, or you know that you really want to be away from it hard enough, and that feeling within you is big enough and it's strong enough, I can guarantee you there is not a single thing that will stop you or keep you from changing that thing or responding differently to something that will genuinely pull you to the direction of life that you genuinely want to be in. Okay? So this is our welcome into 2025 video, and it's something I'm extremely grateful to record, because it's something that I wanted to record for a little bit, genuinely a little bit. It is literally it's literally the third, so it's literally a little bit of time. I'm past this point. This is 2025. There's different actions being taken. If we want to do something, let's give it a maximum period that we're waiting before. If not, look, first of all, I don't even want to do waiting times. That's only like if you really have to. Only if you really have to. If you don't have to wait for anything, you start instantly. Genuinely, let's not put any wait time in anything. At least I know I'm not going to. If I can start instantly, oh God, I'm not waiting. I can guarantee you I'm not waiting, and I'm not waiting on people. I'm not waiting for people. None of that. I refuse to do that. I've done that long enough, okay? I've stayed around enough people to be able to have had the habit for so long of trying to do that. It does not work. I'm not doing that, and I do not encourage you to do that. Do not wait for a single thing. Go after it right now. You're alive right now. You're breathing right now. If you're watching this video right now and you're listening to my insight right now, genuinely, this is something that is for you, okay? Do not wait. If for any reason you have to prioritize something else because it's just genuinely important for you to do so right now, set a maximum time period that you're willing to give it before you actually just start on it, and make it as short as possible. The max I would give you is like 2 days, because past the third day, you probably ain't gonna do it. Genuinely, you probably ain't gonna do it. I say a day and a half, but 2 days to be safe, on the safe side, okay? For us to start, for you to start, genuinely for you to start. I'm starting now. Just me personally, okay? So I trust in the value that I have just expressed in this video, because I've experienced all of these things I'm talking about. So it's no need to overthink any of it. I am extremely grateful to have done this, and I feel very confident that this is going to be something that reaches a lot of people, that helps a lot of people if you're willing to take action for it, okay? We're going to make it a consistent habit to continue to show up for ourselves. I'm going to do the best to show up for myself. You're going to do the best to show up for yourself. So once we connect as human beings, we have the ability to provide value to each other that will help us both provide value to everybody else as a mastermind. Okay? That's the main thing I want people to understand. Healing and wellness be within you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the end of this video. And I can guarantee you, as long as you continue to show up for yourself every single day, success is something that's genuinely inevitable for you and anyone that is around you that genuinely has aspirations to grow and to do something with their life and to become something in their life, okay? We were not put here for no reason, okay? Let's create the best possible purpose that we possibly can. Let's become the wealthiest people in our family, whether that's with money, in terms of knowledge, relationships, skill sets. Let's just do the most. Let's make the most. Let's create the most. Let's make the biggest possible impact that we possibly can while we're here. Let's inspire as many people as we possibly can while we're here. Because yet again, I'm not waiting. Even if you decide that you don't want to or you want to wait, I'm not waiting. I refuse to do that. So I thank you greatly. I will you continue to enjoy every single second of your now. I will and command you continue to enjoy every single second of your now. From now on, infinitely. Thank you for your time and your patience. And shall we have another one of these experiences again? Done deal.